Macksville Skatepark is located about an hour south of Coffs Harbour. It might be a small town, but the park's actually pretty big and pretty fun, and something worth getting off the highway for if you're trying to have a session to break up the long drives. Whether you're driving north or south, it's sort of a town you go past either way. What I like about this park is it has a few unique setups that you don't sort of see generally at most skate parks. At the back of the park, next to a long sort of 5-foot quarter, there's a mellow transition sort of bank style to sub setup. Probably a little bit too close, but still rideable, and like I said, it's a unique setup that's pretty fun to try and session. You've also got a hitching post, which is, you could probably count on one hand how many of these there are at a skate park. This one's a little out of proportion, like it's probably should be a little bit taller. The quarters are about 4.5 foot, maybe 5 foot, whereas the sub rail is only sort of 1.5 foot, 2 foot high. But anyone that sort of enjoys riding that sort of setup, I'm sure you'll make it work, because there's not like there's many of them around. At one end of the skate park, there's sort of a mellow bank that sets you up for pretty much anything that you want to ride, whether it's the little flat ledge with the steep sort of quarter jersey barrier on the side of the park, or if you want to hit the little hips, that's also a little sub box, or just go directly to that hitching post. There's plenty of options. The park is a little bit crammed in, like I'm sure it would have been a lot better if it was just a bit wider and a bit longer, so that it's not so tight, but still plenty of things that are fun to ride. Got a pretty standard sort of hubba down ledge. The rail's too small. The out ledge is pretty fun. It's not super high to get on, and it's a good height at the end. There's like a weird sort of out rail sort of fly out of a bank, which is actually pretty cool. Like, again, it's a bit too short, but in or out of sort of grinding or rail riding into the bank is fun, or vice versa out of the bank. At the other end of the skate park, you can sort of treat it as like a 5-foot mini ramp. It's super wide, so that works pretty well. It's not too spaced out. There's enough deck space for a few people to get a good session, and you know, being that this park's in a country town, it's never going to be that busy. There's a fair bit of shade. There's no toilets, but there's shops across the street which I'm sure would have toilets. There's a drink tap, easy parking just on the main road, and it's never going to be busy. So, you know, it's a good skate park if you're trying to ride a bunch of country towns in New South Wales, or you're on a road trip and it's just a town that sort of you're driving past. You could definitely stop and have a good session for an hour and break up the trip.